Hey there everyone, this is Ram here, and today we are going to create rock paper scissors game using switch statement in JavaScript, and I hope that you guys will like it. I have used the font awesome icons here, and let me show you that how this game is gonna work. It has two opponents, so the player and the computer. So now it's a tie. It has a result option here. If I click on scissors, then it is saying that you lost, and here the score is updating. Here it is 0 and the computer is 1. The player is with 0 scores and the computer is with 1 score. If I click on this one, then it is a tie. Again, you lost and you lost. It's a tie, lost, and won. So a player also won. Here it has a reset button or a option or icon, so it reset. Also it has the ability to reset. So let's start creating this game, and let me show you that it is completely responsive. I haven't used any framework in this one. It is just JavaScript, sorry, HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. No more any kind of what we can say, any kind of framework. Okay, so here is the game, and let's go to the editor. I'm using VS Code editor. I've already created a folder, rock scissors game. The folder has 3 files and one other folder for image, and the image I'm talking about, this background image, it's a random image I've got from internet. I'm not sure from where I got it, but it's from the internet. Okay, and the exact source of this image I don't remember. So here is the inside this images folder we have that background image, then index.html file, main.css, and main.js. So I'm just gonna use the abbreviation. Here is the boilerplate. So let's change the title. It should be rock paper scissors game, and let's link the style sheet with this. So link related to style sheet, and href is gonna be main.css. For these icons, I'm using font awesome icon. I'm not gonna explain everything from font awesome icon here. I've explained it in the previous videos. Please watch any other previous video just to know about this font awesome icon thing. And then we have to, here in the body section, let's have a let's link the main.js file also. And what else? Yes, I'm gonna use some Google fonts. So here are the Google fonts, and from the fonts I would like to go with, let's search here and let's see which one looks better. So the Poppins, let's go with the letter. Okay, it has 10 styles. I would like to go with 2 of them. The one would be the regular one, this 400, and the other one is the bold 700. And here is the link. I just want to copy this link, and I am adding this link here in the head section, okay, of this HTML. Here is the link. It has the CSS style also, so just let me copy this one from here, and in the main.css I already copied it here. Okay, so in the body, font family Lato sans serif. Okay, let's save it here. Okay, and let's go to the browser by using my live server. So let's close this one. Okay, so here is the browser. Here is the title, rock paper scissors game. This is the one I've done before, and this is for you guys. Now we are going to create together this one here in this section. Okay, so let's start working with this. First of all, okay, let's start with our body element, and here we have to assign a class. The class is gonna be bg. Then we should have a div and the class of the div is gonna be main. Then we would like to go with another div. This div is gonna be header. The class of this div is header, and let's have a heading 1. With this heading 1, let's say rock, paper, scissors, game. Then after, let's have another div. This div should have a class of player container, and after this player container it should have an ID. ID is gonna be player, and then after we would like to go with heading 2. The heading 2 should have a icon, and the icon is, first of all, it should have a text which would be player, and it is player. Then we should go with a span element. Span element will have an ID, and this ID is gonna be player score. Here we are not going to add any kind of scores, because we will create the logic or the function to get the score from here. Okay, so that's why I'm leaving it without any digit. Then another span element. Here the class is gonna be choice, and it have an ID. The ID is gonna be player choice. Okay, here we gonna have fun awesome icon. Fun awesome icon will have a class. The class is gonna be FAR, FA hand rock, it's hand rock. And then we do need a title here. This title is gonna be rock, and let's have an ID. This ID is gonna be player rock, and here I would like to have on click. This is what I will explain you just in a moment when we'll start JavaScript. So this is for when the user or the player gonna click on the icon, this function will fire. Okay, then it will work. I'll show you. I'll explain you when we will do this in JavaScript. Okay, then after I just want to copy this and let me paste it, and I'm gonna paste it twice. So here in place of hand rock and this rock, I'm gonna say with hand paper. This is gonna be paper, and this will also be paper. Okay, then we do have this one. Here it should be scissors, and this one also gonna be scissors. This should also be, let me remove this one also, so I just want to write these together. So scissors. Okay, so we have to add this on click select function here from the player side. The computer will get it logically when we will apply the logic in JavaScript. Okay, so this is the player container we have done with. Now let's go with the computer container. So just a computer container. Okay, and here let's go with the div. The div is gonna be class, and the class is gonna be again player container, but we are going to change an ID. The ID is gonna be computer. Then we have to go with heading 2, where we should say computer. Computer, and let's go with the span element with an ID. The ID is gonna be computer score, and then it let's have another span element here. So this span element has a class, and this class is gonna be choice, and an ID, and ID is gonna be computer choice. See, okay, span element is closed here. Now the next is we just need the font awesome icon. So let's have a font awesome icon here, where we have to say that class FERFA and rock. Then it should have a title. Title is gonna be rock, and ID, the ID is gonna be computer rock. Okay, I'm just copying this one from here, and we paste it here and here, and in place of this rock I have to use paper, and this one and this one again we're gonna use paper, and this should be scissors, and here we're gonna remove this one and this one. I'm pressing the Alt key from my keyboard to select more than one element. Okay, more than one element, I'm using the Alt key. Okay, so this is what we have done with our icons. Okay, let me have my live server on. Okay, so hold on. Then after this, let's have a reset icon. So for the reset icon, again, let's go with the class. The class is gonna be FA sync alt, and we should see reset icon. Okay, but it's not finished here. We need a title, and this title is gonna be reset. Then we do need the on click function here for this too, and we will apply the logic in JavaScript reset all, and it's gonna reset all the elements we are going to use in this game. Okay, now let's check in the browser. Okay, we do have our icons, our text, title, but we don't have this icon and the reset one. So let's go and check that. Computer scissors. Yep, here is a mistake. It's a scissors, and here is also a mistake. So typo mistake. So you guys can see now. Okay, so we have the reset icon, all these other font awesome icons, the rock, paper, and scissors. Okay, now let's move on and let's work with the result section. The result. So here is U1, it's a tie, and again it's a tie. So I want to cover I want to cover this section. It's a tie section or a result section. Okay, so for this, let's go and create another div. Here is a div. We are going to assign it a class. The class is gonna be result container, And then let's have heading 3, and the class is gonna be result text, and we should have an ID. ID is gonna be result text, result text. Okay, and then after, we don't have to do anything, it's finished. Our HTML is finished. Okay, so here is this one. Okay, the result will be shown when we apply the logic. Okay, so let's start working with the CSS. So here is our main.css. After this, first of all, let's have some HTML, and here I would like to say box sizing. This would be border box. Okay, and the body has this font family, plus let's use the margin within the body, that would be 0. The minimum height for this is 100 view height. Then we are gonna use a display, and it will be flex. Let's use justify content, and it's gonna be center. Let's have align items, again center, background image, and I would like to use the URL. So here we do have the images folder. Within the images folder we have only one image. I'm not going to work with too much settings of this image. Okay, so here is the image, and rest of the things are in the center, as we have displayed it in a flex, and the content is in center, items are also in a center. Now let's work with our main class. So the main has a width of 530 pixels. Let's go with the height. Height is gonna be 600 pixels. Background is gonna be RGBA 3463 0.5 for the opacity. And let's go with the box shadow. This is gonna be 0, 10 pixels, 20 pixels, minus 5 pixels, and then let's have some RGBA, and this is gonna be 255, again 255, 255, 0.2. Okay, let's go with border radius, and it's gonna be 5 pixels. Fine, save it, move on to the browser. Okay, now it is prominent and it looks a bit different than the background. Okay, now let's have something else. That something else is gonna be header. So the header should have a background RGBA, and it's gonna be 30, 143, 255, and then 0.3 is gonna be opacity. Okay, border top, and left, yeah, okay, border top left radius, there is a stick, which is this one, and it should be, I want it to be rounded a bit, and the seam, I want it for the right side. So copy, paste it, and in place of the left, let's go with the right. And then let's go with the height. Height is gonna be 100 pixels. Okay, let's use display. Display is flex, justify content, and it's gonna be center, and align items center. Okay, save it, on to the browser. Okay, fine. Now let's go with the heading 1, and here the heading 1 is gonna have a color white, and the font size is gonna be 30 pixels. Okay, looking cool. Then the next is player container. So margin would be 50 pixels. Save it. Okay, cool. Then we have to go with the heading 2. And heading 2, I have a margin bottom. This would be 20 pixels, and color is gonna be white. Okay. Then after, let's use the font awesome icons FAR class, and here the font size we can have 50 pixels, and margin right. Margin right gonna be 40 pixels. Okay, save it. Let me show you what's going on here in the browser. Okay, looking cool, good. Then we do need the player ID. Okay, player FAR and player choice. So let's go with the color. There's gonna be EFF0F1, and we'll use it in JavaScript. You guys will understand what it's gonna look like. Pointer. And let's use the ID of computer, and here this one, and hold on, that another one is comp ID with choice. Let me show you guys what's going on here, what I'm doing here. We are getting this ID and this class, okay, span class from here. This comp ID comp and class is choice. Same we have used here in the player section, where we have got this player ID and this choice. Okay, so this is what we are doing here. Fine. Then the next thing is, after having this one, this player and this, let's have a color, and the color is gonna be okay, close to white. Then let's get the player ID with font awesome icon and list of type, and then we do need the ID of computer. We want some icon, and here we have to say last of type, and margin right gonna be 0. Save it. Okay, looking cool, right? Then let's have another class. We are going to use this class on CSS, this selected class. Oh, sorry, in JavaScript, that when we select any of the icon, the color is gonna be changed, and as we are overriding it, so we have to use the important flag. Okay, so here is the important flag for this one. Now let's work with the reset icon, and the reset icon have a font size. The font size is gonna be 30 pixels. Then let's use the cursor, and it's gonna be pointer. Then we do need the margin left. Margin left is gonna be 50 pixels. And let's use the color, and the color is gonna be, after resetting this, after working with this reset icon, let's start working with the result container. So the result container is gonna be display, flex, justify content, center, align items, center, save it. Okay, so let's have the result text, not container, result text, and the result text have a font size. So the font size is going to be 40 pixels. Then we have to use the margin. Margin is going to be unset. Margin top would be 20 pixels. And the color for this is going to be white. Save it. Let's go to the browser. Okay, fine. As I've told you that it is a responsive, it's a responsive one. So for the responsiveness of this, this game is responsive. It's gonna work on phones also and tablets. So let's go and start make it responsive. So here, let's say media. Okay, at media screen, and I should say, and the max width of this is gonna be 600 pixels, and then it should have main, and the main class is gonna have width of 95%. Then let's use the height, 580 pixels. Okay, then after, let's use the heading 1. So heading 1 will have a font size, and it should be 24 pixels. And then after, let's have a player container. The player container will have a margin, and the margin for this is gonna be 50 pixel, 0, 25 pixel, and then again 25 pixels. Let's use one of some icon class here. The margin is margin right, it is gonna be 20 pixels. Okay, and let's use a reset icon class. So it is reset icon, and the margin top would be 25 pixels, and margin left this is also gonna be 25 pixels. Okay, this one is for the large smartphones vertically, and now we are going to use for the iPhones. And for this, let me say iPhone vertical. Okay, so here again at media screen, and here is gonna be the max width would be 376 pixels. Okay, and the main class is, it should have a height of 550 pixels. Okay, then let's use heading 1. So heading 1 should have a font size of 220 pixels. Then we do need the player container. It's gonna have a margin (43 pixels, 0, 25 pixels, 20 pixels. Then we do need the font size 43 pixels. Let's use the reset icon. Margin top 15 pixels, and it's a class. And again here let's use the result container, and the result container is gonna be margin. It has a margin of 0 and 20 pixels. Okay, let's save it, move on to the browser, and let's check the responsiveness of this one. So okay, now it's looking cool and it's looking better. Okay, let's start working with our JavaScript. So first of all, we are going to declare the variables. The first variable I'm going to declare is player score element, and it's going to be document.getElement by ID. The ID we're going to use is player score. Okay, then next is gonna be player choice element. Here the document.getElement by ID, and here we gonna say player choice. Okay, so let's have another variable, which is computer score element. So it's a document.getElement by ID, and the ID we're gonna use is computer score. Then we should have another variable. It should be computer choice element and document.getElement by ID, and here we should say computer choice. Let's have another variable. Let's declare another one, and this one is gonna be player rock, document.getElement by ID, and here we have to say player rock. Let's declare another one, which would be player paper, and it should be player paper. Another one, player scissors, is gonna be it's player scissors, and this one is gonna be document dot element, and it's gonna be player scissors. Okay, let's have same for the computer, but what I'm gonna do, I just want to copy this from here. Let me paste it here, and in place of the player, I'm pressing the Alt key from my keyboard and selecting all the player elements from here, and I'm just gonna replace them with computer. Okay, the next we have to do is let's define the choices here. Okay, so for that, let's have a const value, because we're not going to change these choices, and the choices gonna be, the first one would be rock, and rock, first one would be rock, and the rock gonna have a name. The name is going to be rock, and let's define the defeat, and the rock defeats scissors. Okay, then let's have a comma here, and the next one is gonna be paper, and the paper, let's define a name. It should be paper, and the paper gonna defeat rock, and it has to be, I've made a mistake, it's a single quote, not a double, and here again it's a single quote, and yep, this is also wrapped in a single quote, and this is gonna be rock. Then the next one is scissors. Okay, so scissors, and here, let me bring it here, scissors, let me name it, so the name is gonna be scissors, and it is going to be defeated from paper, so paper. Okay, let's have a comma here and a semicolon here. Save it. Let me show you what's going on in the browser. For sure, nothing is going in the browser. There is a reason, because we have just, what we have done, we have just declared the choices and declare the variables. We haven't done anything, we didn't create any kind of functionality, right? Okay, so first of all, let's create try to get all the elements, all the icons. So for that, let's say game icons. For the selection of game icons, okay, let's say document dot query selector all, and here what we are going to do, we are going to get all the, it's gonna select all the icons. Okay, so it is for the selection of the icons. Okay, the next, let me show you that. Okay, let me show you something. Oh, what is that? Let me show you something here. If I do console.log, but okay, we will do this console.log. First of all, let's create the switch statement for the player, and then we will create a console.log. Okay, so for this, here let me have a function. This function is gonna be select player choice, and then what we have to do is to let's do console.log, and let's say player choice. Okay, console.log and player choice. Fine, save it, go back to the hurry up. Okay, my browser is performing very slow. Okay, so can you see, guys, it has a rock, paper, scissors, again rock, paper, scissors. So everything is working fine. Okay, now let's add the let me comment it out, and let's have let's add a switch statement here first. Okay, so to style the player choice and to add the selected styling of the player choice. Okay, so for this let's have a switch statement, switch, and we should say that player choice, not element, player choice. Then after player choice we should go with the case, and the case we gonna have is rock. Sorry, it's a rock with a colon, and let's say player rock gonna add a class list. So class list, and then should say add, and sorry, add, and it's gonna be selected. Then another player, we gonna add player choice element here, and again we're gonna add class list, and let's say text content. Sorry, not a class list, it should be a text content. So the text content I'm talking about, wait a minute, I'll explain you what is this text content here, and it's gonna be rock. Okay, save it. First of all, this text content I'm talking about is, like, let me reset it. So when I click here, this is the text content we are talking about. Okay, this rock, again the paper, scissors. So this is what we are doing here. Okay, now let's have another one. The other one is gonna be paper. After the rock we do have a paper. Case 2 is a paper. So you know what I'm thinking. Okay, so let's go with the paper. Let's have a break, and after the break we'll go with the case paper. You have to say player paper class list property. Let's add selected method, and let's say selected, and then after player choice element, then again text content, and here the text content is gonna be paper. Okay, again break. I'm not going to define the switch statement. I'm sure that you guys know about it. It's very easy to understand the switch statement. Scissors, and after the scissors let's have a player scissors. Then we gonna add the class list, and let's add the selected items. We'll add into this, and then we have to go with the player choice text content, and this is gonna be the scissors. Okay, again break, and let's have a default and break. Okay, so fine. Until now it's fine. We have checked it with our console.log, and if I let it go again, then you guys will see here that again, you know, it is selecting now. The selected color was black. We have created this black in CSS, and you know the problem that all are selected. Now we have to create logic that one should be selected, then other shouldn't be. One has to be in black and one has to be in white, or you know, because we don't need all three colors, all three into the same selection range. Okay, fine. Now let's move on and do something else, do the next thing. So let me comment out. Here I was thinking to add, let me show you something that what I was thinking here. Let me add a comment out that one and console.log, and let's say game icon. Okay, save it, and is not defined. Okay, yep, game icon isn't defined. Let me go there. It's icons, it's not icon, so I should say it's a game icons. Sorry. Okay, it's a console, and you guys can see the node list here, that all these you can see all these, can you see all these icons are here in a node list. And let me show you that. Wait a minute. Okay, so just leave this one, no need to look at this one. Okay, so here's a node list: 6 player rock and paper scissors, again rock paper and scissors. Okay, so there's it's working properly, it's looking cool. It has a node list, like it is getting from an array of this. The icons are in an array, and you guys can see that the array is from here to here in a node list. Okay, so all these icons are here, so no need to check all this, but you guys can understand that it is in an array. Okay, now let's move on and comment it out too. Fine. What we have to do next is to reset all the selected icons, because the icons we do have, yes, you have seen that we are selecting them and all are getting selected. So let's reset them. So for that, what I'm gonna do, let's have a function here. Function is gonna be reset selected, and then let's say game icons, and for each method within these parentheses, let's call it icon because we are talking about icons, and let's have a arrow function here, and this arrow function is saying that icon class list remove. Okay, because they all are selecting at the same time, so we don't want all to be selected at the same time. We want them to select it one by one. Okay, so just to remove that selection, we do need this reset function. Okay, and we need to call this function because we have just created it and we didn't call it. So let's create this function, call this function here. Let's call it here, and here we should say that I'm gonna create some other functions too. So first of all, let me show you. If I click here, okay, because we have created a function, but we didn't call the function. Okay, you have seen that we have created this function, this reset selected function, and we didn't call it. So first of all, let's go and call this function. Let me call it here. So I should say that actually I need to create another one also. So what I'm gonna do is to let me do this one. Okay, so let's have a function here. It's a function call, so the name of the function is gonna be check result, and we're gonna check the result of what's going on with this one. So player choice, and within this player choice we should say reset selected. Okay, so we are not calling this function yet. So first of all, what I'm gonna do, I'm just going to call some variables here in a global scope. So we will do them again one by one. So first of all, I'm gonna call this score number, which is going to be 0, and again let's have a computer score number, again it's gonna be 0. Let's have another one which would be computer choice, and this computer choice, this is we are not going to assign any number because by applying the logic, computer has to choose on its own. Okay, so the logic will help this thing to work on. So we call it in a global scope. Now what we have to do next is to have some random computer choices. Okay, so for those random computer choices, what I'm thinking to do is I'm thinking to have a function here. We make some space. Okay, so let's have a function here, and this function is gonna be computer random choice, and there is a problem in this typo function. Okay, computer random choice, and it should have a, we are not going to add any kind of parameters here, but what we are going to do, let's add a value here. So it's going to be computer choice number. We are going to use math.random method, and what we have to do, we have to define the ranges. Okay, so as I've done it before, I don't want to take the video too long, but you guys can console log it here if you want, but I don't think that it is needed. So what we are going to do, let's say that computer choice number is going to be less than, if it is going to be less than 0.2, it's a range, we are defining the range, then the computer choice is gonna be rock. Okay, and hold on, let me put it here. Okay, then we say that else if computer choice, not element, computer choice number is less than or equal to 0.4, then the computer choice will be paper. Okay, then it will be paper. And another condition that would be again else if computer choice is a computer choice number. So if it is gonna be less than equal to 0.6, then it's gonna be scissors. Okay, computer choice, and it's gonna be scissors. Okay, so what we can do, let it be like this. Let's have something else. Let's add the switch statement and the styling and computer choice here in this line. So what we can do, let's have a function here. So this function is going to display computer choice. Okay, and you know there is again a typo mistake. Display computer choice. We are not going to pass any kind of parameters here. Let's have a switch statement. So the switch is what we are going to do is to have a computer choice. Then we should see we should have the cases. So the case is gonna be rock. Okay, and in this case computer rock has a class list. We're gonna add selected, the same process as we have done in the player's choice. We have to repeat it here. Nothing is gonna be changed, everything is same. So computer choice element, and then we have to go with the text content. Again, the text content is gonna be rock here. Then let's break it. Again, the case is gonna be paper. Then computer paper, sorry, yeah, it's a paper, sorry. Computer paper is gonna add a class, have a class list, and it's gonna add the selection selected, and again break. Then the case is gonna be scissors, and in this case, yeah, we haven't added the computer choice element. Computer choice element, let's have a text content, and here the text content is gonna be paper. Okay, then in case of scissors, computer scissors class list, add selected, again computer choice element, text content, and it's gonna be scissors. Fine. Again, we are going to use the break, and then after the break, let's have a default and break. Default is not going to be this one. Okay, fine, fair enough. Now let me show you. Nothing is going on. You know what, let's have a console.log, and then it works, then something will happen. So let's have a console.log, and let's say computer choice, not element, computer choice. Save it, and I hope that you guys can see this. And it's not doing anything. There must be something that computer choice. Oh yeah. We didn't call this display computer choice function. Okay, so that is why we have to call the function and then it will work. So first of all, I have to call the function. So here somewhere I think I have created something for, or I didn't call any function. I didn't call the reset selected function and this computer random choice function and this display computer choice function. Yeah, so what we have to do is to call this function. So let's call this function here. Where is that? Is the computer choice. Let's call the function here somewhere. But you know what I'm thinking? Let me call this function here. Okay, let's call this function here. So first of all, let me go with a function and just name it check result. Check result player choice. Or you know what? Hold on, guys. We will check this one. Let me comment it out. First of all, let me finish that and we will call it. Okay. How we are going to call it, I'm gonna tell you. Just a moment. Okay, what I have to do first, what I'm thinking to do is to, you know what, I'm thinking to add the results and scores and updaters, and then we will call all these functions together. Okay, so for that, let me add a function here. So let me add a function here. Function. We will call all those functions together. Just a moment. Updates, update score, and it's gonna be player, because I wanna finish it. It's a very long video and I do have my kids, so I just need to finish this. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, let me do console.log player choice and computer choice. We will do this also, but let me have it here first of all, then I'll show you how we can do this. Player choice and computer choice. Yeah, is it fine? Player choice and computer choice. The spellings are fine. Okay, what I'm gonna do is there any, yep, hold on. Okay, we will, okay, it's only I'm just checking something which is not working here properly. So the console.log is also okay. Let's go back. We will fix this issue, don't worry. Then I'll explain you what's going on, what is the issue, which issue is occurring here. First of all, let's apply the condition here. Condition is gonna be player choice and player choice is equal to computer. If player choice is equal to computer choice, then the result text is gonna have text content, and the text content, it is going to display this text content, and if it is equal to computer choice, you know what will happen? It is going to say it's a tie. Okay, otherwise, else, let's go with the else. Let choice is gonna be player choice. So if let the choice is gonna be choices from an array. Hold on, okay. Where is going to be a choices from an array of the player choice, then again then you know what will happen. And if this choice is gonna defeat, then the index of, I'll explain you, just a minute, I'm just checking something and then I'm gonna explain you this. Choice is gonna be less than -1, okay, and then the result text is gonna be text content, and it is going to show you won, and player score number is gonna increase itself, and then player score element will have a text content which will be equal to player score number, and we should have an else. The result text is gonna have a text content, and it should say you lost a loss, okay, and then the computer score number is gonna add itself to the score board, or to the score space. Then computer score element, I'm gonna have a text content. I'll explain you, just a moment, okay. Then computer score number, save it. Okay, so it will be easy for you to understand. First of all, let me do something, and I would like to explain this thing to you. And first of all, I would like to remember I was thinking to create a function where I would like to call all the functions we have created here somewhere. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, you know what, let's do this here, and let's have a function here. On top of this select, the function is gonna be let me have a function here. The function is gonna, we are going to call all the functions to process the turn. So function check result, and we have to say player choice. Then it's gonna say, first of all, we do have no, we haven't done with this reset function. We have done with the computer random choice. We have this function, let's call this function here. Then we do have a display computer choice function. Okay, let's call it here too. Then we do have this one, the one we have created now, update score. Okay, and what we are going to do here, we are updating this player choice here. Now this check result player choice is gonna be, let me copy this and I wanna keep it here, player choice, and let's have this check result player choice function here. Let's save it and let's do this console.log player choice. So you can see rock, and here the computer chooses scissors. The score is also updating. Again, here the score also is updating, and paper, but we have this issue again. And scissors, rock, you can see here score is also updating. We have to solve this one still. Now what's going on here? You can see that the logic is working, score is also updating. So what we have done here in this update score function here, today my code is too much messy. I will organize it. I will give the link of this code in codepen.io. You guys can get it, and I'll give the link in the description below. I'll organize the code and put it there for you guys. So what we are doing here, this player choice is updating the update score, the player choice you have seen here in the demo. Okay, so only this issue, we will solve this issue again, but the result is updating, scores are updating, the text content is also working, everything is fine. Okay, like look at this, paper 2 3, then scissors, and U1, you know, the result also, we have the result too. Let me put it here. Okay, so it's a tie. Again, it's a tie. It's a tie. Fine, everything is working. Just to explain, now it is easy for me to explain you that if the player choice is equal to computer choice, then the result text is going to be the text, is going to show the text content, and it will be this one. Then the else statement, choice, and the player choices. Okay, so this is what we were. I don't think that now it needs to explain more. It is self-explanatory. I was just today I just made a mess here with my code, so my apologies for this, but I hope that you guys understand the logic, how it works and how it is working right now. Okay, so let's move on to the next section, where we are going to reset the scores and play all the choices of players and computer. Okay, so first of all, we would like to have a reset function. So what I'm gonna do, I think we have the reset function. I have created this reset selected one, I think. Yep, this one, and I didn't call it, so let me call this function here too. Let me call it here because it's reset selected, and this reset selected, oops, and let me have it here. And again, so rock. Okay, now it's working. You can see it's not selecting everything because we called our function. Everything is working fine, and if we click on it, yeah, it's not working. Reference card reset all is not defined. Yes, now we have to define this reset all. Okay, so let's go and define this reset all. So for this, what I'm gonna do is I just wanna, where is the one, I wanna have this one here. Okay, this function, the reset score function, I would like to create this function here. So first of all, I would like to go with function. The function is gonna be reset all, and then let's have a player score number. The player score number is gonna be 0. Then again, the computer score number is also gonna be 0. Then we are going to go with player score element, and the player score element, with the text content, and then we should have a player score number. Okay, then what's next is computer score element. We'll have a text content again. Okay, text content, and we assign it to computer score number. Okay, after computer score number, let's have the player choice element and the text content. Gonna be nothing. Then computer choice element, again text content, and it's gonna be nothing again. Then result text and text content, result text content, and it's gonna be again nothing. Then here we should say reset selected. Reset selected means all the selections are gonna be reset, so let's have it here. Okay, fine, you won, you lost, it's a tie, and you won. Fine. I hope that you guys understand what happens here and what's going on here. So sorry, we have to reset, and we have to call this reset all function also. It's done. Sorry, I'm just looking something else. And we just have to remove the console logs. The console logs it has, and it is resetting. It is working. It is looking fine. And if we refresh, fine. I just need to remove the console logs. And I have to organize the code also, because it is a scattered code, or I don't need to. Let me remove these extra spaces from here. And I hope that you guys understand what we have done here. Soon we are going to start React projects. I'm working on those projects. That's why I am not regular in uploading the videos, because I'm working on React projects. So soon you guys will get React projects, and I'm sure that you guys will like the React projects. But before React projects, we wanna cover, I think we should cover the command line and the terminal. So, and after that it will be easy for all of you, and for everyone, for me also, because it's been a long time I haven't done anything with command line. So I wanna practice some things, and together you and I, we will work with React, okay, and React based projects. So I hope that you guys will like it, and I'm sure that you like this game also using switch statement. If you guys like this video, don't forget to subscribe the channel. And again, I'm telling you that I'm gonna give the link in the description below. Get the link from the description, and I'll see you in the next video. Hasta la vista. Ciao, ciao.